Good afternoon. Students, I'm in Socrative and I've already signed in. So you want to click on the link to Socrative on Moodle and it will take you to the Socrative website. It'll ask if you need to join Socrative and it'll ask if you want to do student or teacher, and you want to do student. You want to do teacher. There's a web and an app for Socrative. So your students could access taking their assessments via their Chromebooks, either on the website, or if they had a mobile device, they could access it and take it on the app. Excuse me. Your name is going to default to something with numbers in it. If you go over here to rooms, you can click right here and change that, customize that. I'm going to go through this quickly just so the video is not so long to upload and to watch. So we have a toolbar here: launch, quizzes, rooms, reports, results. And then we have different options on each page. So under the launch, we have these quick questions. And these are quick assessments that you can give students. Let's say that you have just finished up doing, in the elementary classroom, your math lesson, you're transitioning to reading. You can just click on true, false, and say to students, you could say true or false, 1 plus 3 equals 5. And what students will see on there, they'll go to Socrative, put in your name. It'll ask what the classroom is, and you put in that name. And here's what I encourage you to do for all of these. I encourage all the assessment tools I'm going to show you. I encourage you to look at them from a teacher and a student perspective. So download the app and sign in to your classroom and see what it looks like from the student perspective. But what they'll see is true, false, and they either hit from your prompt true or false. And you will see here as they're answering, you'll see a bar go across that shows the percentage of students who are answering here. Now you do not see students' name. This is anonymous. Here and again, these are just quick snapshots, formative assessments to let you know before, you can use them anytime, but the way I would use them in my classroom was just to get a quick snapshot if students have learn the material or not. And of course, we know that's one of the benefits of these types of assessment tools is immediate feedback for you, and the student gets to see whether or not they learn the material also. And you could also have that problem written on the board. You could have a sheet that you've handed to all students and they have on their desk, and you could just say, turn to number 1 and answer true, false. Or you could say, look at number 3, and it would be a multiple choice question. You hit MC and then they answer it. And again, it just lets you know whether or not they got the concept. It doesn't even have to be at the end of the lesson. It could be just mid-lesson, just to keep them engaged, saying, okay, let's see how many people just understood that, and you ask a question. And that's how all of these work, okay? That's how all of these. Notice when I hit finish, and you can even do a short answer. We could have, for this one, require student's name. Notice when I hit on those, as soon as I hit finish. Now this one's a little different. It asks for the name. It's not anonymous. And so this one, I can get a report for that and see how students did. And because it makes sense, right? Because that's going to be something you're going to grade later. You can look at true, false and say, yeah, I see that 80% of the class got it, so I'm good to go to move forward. I don't need to reteach. With a short answer, you're going to need to be able to look at those at some point in time. But if you noticed on these, there was no, when I hit finish, it didn't prompt me to download the Excel spreadsheet of the results. I really like this exit ticket one. So again, it works just like an exit ticket. You click on it, students would access it via their phone or their mobile device. They would log into your classroom. It gives them 3 questions. And the questions are, what's something you learned? If I remember correctly, they're typical exit slip questions. What is something that you learned? And then the third one allows the teacher to give like a question, a specific question. So it'll, ask you to answer the teacher's question. But again, you can show answers or not show answers. So if you want to see the answers as they're coming in, or to show students' names, you can. Okay. And of course, this one saves as a report. So that's pretty much the launch page. Space Race is a little gamification. With this one, what you do is you open up an assessment that you've already created, which I'm going to go over in just a second. You pick the number of teams that you want. You can pick whichever little icon you want them to have. You can do a countdown. You can shuffle questions, so on and so forth. So this is a little assessment that you would use with students where they play kind of a game, and you can break them into teams. And of course, when you hit start, the students are going to know what team they're in by the color that they have. And so on their devices, they would see the question and they would see the color. And as they answer, the spaceship is going to move across the screen and they're going to race to the finish. And whoever gets there first, whichever team gets there first wins. Okay. Sorry. So that's pretty much how this works, how that works. So we've got these little quick questions, we have exit slip, we have a game here, and then we can launch quizzes here. But to do that, we need to create a quiz. And to create a quiz, we go right here to quizzes. Okay, if I want to create folders to put them in, I can here. If I want to add a quiz, I just click here. Okay. See, it says import. You can actually share quizzes here. Okay, and to do that, I'm going to hit create quiz. To do that, what you're going to do is share this number right here. Okay, and that allows teachers to share assessments that they've made. They just put that in when they're creating one, and they have it. So you can only do 3 types of questions with Socrative. I'm only going to show you how to do one just to save time. It does allow you to align them to standards. I'm not going to go through that. You can explore that on your own. Again, I'm just trying to kind of give you the overview and to save time here. So let's just pick a true-false one. So if I pick true-false, I would just say, again, I can just say 1 plus 3 equals, excuse me. Notice I can add an image here. So if I had an image, all I would do is just click here on the image. You know, and I would encourage you, this is the image I used earlier, the little dog image that I had earlier doesn't relate to this. I'm just showing you how to add it. But you can add an image here, and then you put whether it's true or false. So we'll put 4, and we'll put that's true. And and this is a part I really love. If I want to put an explanation, I can, and it includes an image. And then all I do is hit save. Okay, excuse me. And if I want to add it, well, I didn't mean to do that. Let me go back here. If I want to add another question, they've actually changed the format. If I want to add another question, I just I'm sorry. Yeah. Okay. If I want to add another question, it's just down here. That's actually duplicating the question. And so all I do, if I want to add my next question, I just hit multiple choice and it adds the next question. Okay. Notice I can add one here. So let's say I was doing, we were talking about fourth grade, I think, Kentucky, learning about the state of Kentucky. And I want to say, what's the state bird of Kentucky? I can put a picture of a robin, I can put a picture of a cardinal, I can put a picture of a blue jay, so on, and they can pick which one's right. So it gives a visual. Maybe we're doing fractions, right? And I say, which image below depicts 1/4, and I can have pictures of a pizza, right, with 1/4 of it remaining. Does that make sense? So anyway, that's how you do that. Okay, and again, it will save all of your assessments. You saw that before. There'll be a long list of them here. You can put them in folders. And then when you get ready to launch it, all you do is you go to quiz. Okay, you pick which assessment that you want. Okay, hit next. Okay, how do you want it? You want them to have instant feedback. You want it to be open navigation, teacher pace. You pick those. Okay, you can change different settings here. You can review those on your own, and then all you do is hit start. Okay, and you would see all of your students here. Okay, and you would see their answers as they were answered across, right, in real time. So you could not have this shown on the screen, and you could be following it. Okay, when they get finished, you just hit finish. Are you sure you want to? You hit OK. And what it's going to do is it's going to come up with reports. Okay, and you can download those in an Excel spreadsheet, PDF. You can do individual students, so you get that feedback immediately. Okay, not only that, but it saves all your reports right here. So they're there if you want to come back and access them later. And that's Socrative.